Well, hello guys and welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Ben. Today we are going to proceed from where we left, and today we are going to look at transaction status. Let's get started. So I'll go to Daraja API, then I'll go to transaction status, go to my PHP code, and all we need is this. We had made all these the prerequisites on our previous video, so I recommend if you're starting from here, please check our previous videos. So let me open my code editor, and so down here we're going to do our transaction status API. So we'll do write our function, which is public function. So as usual, we go to Daraja and we copy our PHP code for the body, of course. This, I'll remove this one and also this comment. So let me remove the sidebar first. So we're supposed to fill in the initiator, security credential, and everything else. Okay, so what we know is that the transaction ID is going to come from our end, so I'll just fill this up quickly. So this is going to be transaction ID, and also I think that's all. Initiator, we already have it because we had used the B2C initiator, which is this one. I'm still going to use it, and then we're going to use this one as the security credential. So here we'll have env, and I'll just copy this one, which is the initiator. For the security credential is this one, which I had called B2C password. Actually there are two ways to let me pause a little here so I can explain something. So there's two ways which you can generate this security credential. First way is by using the recommended way, and that is by using the M-PESA public key that they provide somewhere here. It's somewhere here. Actually there are two. There is the production certificate and the sandbox. Okay, so you can use any of these to generate these credentials. Another way in which I use, and I don't know whether this is okay or not, but I recommend it, is by going to your login and you go to docs, then you click test credentials. The menu is refusing to load. Okay, so let me SMS test credentials, which is here. Perfect. And you see this part, we have test and production. So when you're going to production, you just go to production directly, click here, then write your password and generate credentials, or you come here for test credentials, which is what we're going to do. Then my password is that one, plain text password. Then I'll click just generate. It will give me this string, which is what I'm going to copy and paste it on my env here. As simple as that, we've generated. So now stories of loading certificates, so you can generate that certificate, that password, or anything like that. And then I think that's it. Then the next part here is the shortcode. So this will be env, and what we're supposed to pass here is the shortcode. If you use one, you won't get it right, so you just need to change this to 4. Then the remarks, you can just type anything here. So check transaction, this one is just anything, just verify transaction, nothing important here. Probably you can just attach your unique ID just to be identifying that you did it. So once you have this, is kind of everything is ready, except that we need to change as well this one. So I'll add API / transaction, then we'll have transaction status, then result URL. I'll again copy this up to here and have them here. Then definitely we need our test URL here, which is supposed to be like your site URL or your app URL. Okay, so in my case I'm using a different one, so I'm just going to do, I'm using Rock, so I'm just going to type M-PESA tests URL, and this is actually what I've provided here. I already have my Grok running, so if I open it, so this is Grok is already running on this URL. So everything is set, and now I'll proceed. So here, once we have this, we need to know where we are sending it, and so I'll just need to copy these three things here. I'll bring them here. We need to change these endpoints, so I'll again open my developer portal, go to transaction status, and I just need to copy this URL up to here. So I'll just come and paste it like that. I need to add, okay, that's fine. So if we make this request right now, it will go and everything will work, except that we have not created these two endpoints. So what I'll do is I'll just copy this, come here, and I'll paste it. So first thing, duplicate, then create that, then it will be transaction status. Let me just call it response. So we don't have this one, so we'll create it on our response controller. So here, just create public function. Then I don't think I'm going to code a lot here. I'll just duplicate something here. This is function. Correct. Then I'll just change this to transaction status. Endpoint hit. Okay, everything is okay. And now we can log everything to our log. So once that is done, we need again to create a view in which we're going to now enter the transaction ID here, and we also need to write the JavaScript method that will send this data to our API. So what we'll start with is we'll go to our web. Again, let's just copy this and change this from B2C to T status to mean transaction status. You can even just write the whole of it, transaction status. Perfect. And this one will just go to status.blade.php. So I'll just copy this again and go to my views and create .blade.php. Then I'll copy any of this and just paste it here. I just need to modify a few things, and this will be one of them. So transaction status check. We don't need the phone, we don't need the amount, we don't need the occasion, we just need the transaction ID. Once we have that, we also need to change this for the sake of our JavaScript. So this is transaction ID. Again, here I'll just change to check transaction. Perfect. So everything now is set. Let's go to our app.js. Okay, let me change this as well. So I'll just call this status. Then go to our app. We need this whole method. So I'll just duplicate it, highlight this, and comment it. We don't need any errors right now. I'll just change this to status. So when we click the button status, what you want is the transaction ID, and the rest we don't need them. Then here we need to go to check status. Probably we don't have this yet on our web route, so we'll create a web route for it. So I'll duplicate this, we'll have it there, and then this will go to our controller and we'll go to transaction status like that. So I think now it's time for us to test it. So I'll open this, it's okay. Then I'll go to transaction status. Is it transaction status or status check? Right, transaction status. So one thing is we don't have any transaction right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a simple register URL and do a simulation, and then we'll reverse that we'll check that transaction, right? So I'll go back and comment again this one, then look for one for register URL and simulate. There are better ways to do it, so I'm trying to do is just shortcuts, not good as well, so bear with me. So let's register URL, that is already set. Perfect. So we can simulate. Let me comment that code as well. Let's just run this. So by default it's going to go to, and I've made it in a way that it will just go to the tests phone number. So let's check whether the payment actually has gone through. So I'll go to Laravel log. Yeah, and we have the payments here. So let me go to my app.js, and what we want to do is to uncomment this for status. We go to status, and everything is fine here, so we can just run it. So let me go back to go to transaction status. Let's copy the code, the transaction code, and try to check if we'll get anything. Okay, so let's see whether we have any error on the console. No error, everything is okay. Let's go here, and we don't have any response yet. I'm guessing is we might have missed something here, so let me check. So test URL, API, transaction status. Did we have this? Let's confirm. Yeah, we missed. We don't supposed to provide that. Perfect. So let's try again. Same transaction, accept service, check and have an error, endpoint hit, and then the exception is that request is not defined here. I think I missed here, like that. Go to my log. I'll delete this log from around here. Okay, now this again brings in a very important point that I wanted to also highlight, that M-PESA sometimes sends multiple responses to an endpoint. So you're supposed to make sure that your transaction ID is always unique, so that you don't end up with multiple transactions that look like the same. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to delete this as well, so we can run it ourselves. And let's try it again. Perfect. And there you go, the transaction has actually come. So this is transaction status, so you can confirm that indeed the transaction took place for the ones that you have issues, or you just wanted to make sure. So that's how you do it. This code is already updated on GitHub, so you can just go and download it and run it. I said I'm not going to focus more on the database part because it's small part, and we'll probably do it. But the GitHub code, after we are done with the whole course, the code will be there for you to go and download for free. And also written tutorials of these videos will be on our blog the moment we finish these videos. So thank you for watching. Hope to see you in the next video. If you like it, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to like, don't forget to leave a comment. It really makes this channel go up, and it motivates us to do more work. So thank you very much, and let's meet in the next video.